Tinfoil hat.
Oh, what the fuck are you guys even talking about?
Global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them.
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat. We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
Good morning, Swarm, and welcome to Tinfoil Hat. You know I am. You know what I'm here to do. I'm here to
rock.
Join me as always, the man, the myth, the legend, Xavier Guerrero, XG. Shut up, Johnny, and J Nice Johnny Woodard.
You got it. You got it, Sam. No one saw you skip a beat.
Thank you, Johnny. I have your mic that you got me. I will be using it. I'm moving into my new place, and this will be the microphone of choice. Till then, I got my old trusty reliable. Guys, how are you?
We're doing good. Good weekend.
Johnny's been sicky poo. Are you still sicky poo, Johnny?
Yeah, can't breathe out of my nose. Other than that, I'm perfect.
Do you think it's AIDS?
It could be, considering my risky lifestyle. I would guess that it is. Yes.
It's not full blown yet, though.
Now, word on the street is that your
Half-blown
doctor thought you needed PrEP, right?
I went to the doctor for a physical the other day, and the nurse walks in the room. And he goes, "Yeah." Now, I will say, I go to the doctor in West Hollywood. Everybody that works there is gay, and I would guess 75% of the people who go there are gay. Because it just happened.
Why do you
right
go there? So that
right
you have
across
the
the street
least amount of diseases?
It's right across the street from where I used to live. So I walk in there. I'm sitting in the room waiting for the nurse to come do my blood pressure. Nurse walks in. It's like, "Okay, so you're here for PrEP, huh?" Okay. And I'm like, "What?" It's like, "No, not for
Were
PrEP."
they all? Do you think the guys were just salivating in the other room? Please let this guy be here for PrEP. Please let him be here for PrEP.
Honestly, I think that's probably a big percentage of what they do. And so their brain's just on autopilot. Like, all right, here's some PrEP, boys.
Everybody's there for PrEP.
Play safe.
Okay. Guys, thank you guys for joining us. We love you very much. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We're so thankful for all your support. Today's an interesting show. We're going to talk about some Irish stuff, but then it ends up just me trying to teach our guest, who I love, Colum Tyrrell, about the world of conspiracies. And I think it went awesome.
It was the best.
It was the best. We got really deep into viruses don't exist. What else we get into? Money, magic. We got into some Irish stuff since it's St. Patty's Day. And again, happy St. Patty's Day to all you. I hope you guys enjoy your St. Patty's Day safe and get home safe and don't do anything stupid. I still wonder what's in green beer. It can't be healthy, right?
No.
I would guess not. Yeah.
Can't be healthy. So, guys, if you survive St. Patty's Day, come see me live. I'm on the road. I got some great gigs. What's happening next week? There we go. March 16th, I'm in Costa Mesa at Lock Cave. Then on the 24th, I am at the in Yuma at Crest Ultra Lounge. We're about to add a second show if everything goes according to plan. We're going to add a second show. Very excited about that. So grab your tickets now. Grab them. I will not be doing the large-breasted OnlyFans birthday party because I'm coming back, and along with Dana, we're shooting Tony Rock's special. We're very excited and very honored about that. Then Toronto, let's go, Toronto, huh? April 13th, 14th, 15th. I'm in Toronto at the Royal Comedy Theater. Then I'm in San Diego. When am I in San Diego, Dana? Okay. I'm in May. I'm in San Diego. Oh, yeah. The weekend of May 8th. I got to put that on my website. Let me see. May. Ooh, come here, man. Come on, man. May 5th. Oh, May 5th, 6th, and 7th. I believe I'm in San Diego. Those dates will be up there. Anything else, guys? Oh, yeah. Go to samtripoli.com. Jump on the email list because we're going to start doing some blasts on that. Go check out Rockfin for all of our premium content. Tinfoil Hat. 0 is free now. And then Conspiracy Social Club, you get one in-depth episode every week. So you're getting about 12 episodes for $15 a month. That's a lot of episodes. And then Cash Daddies, if you're looking to invest in these crazy times, Cash Daddies Patreon is the best. And then we also have, I'm very excited to announce a new t-shirt, everybody. Go to tinfoilattshirts.com. New t-shirt it up. That's right. You got 2 of them. You got Conspiracy Theorists Aren't Wrong. Your algorithm is just lying to you. And then we have a simpler version, which is your algorithm is lying to you. Go to tinfoilattshirts.com or samtripoli.com and grab all of your t-shirts. Great way to support the show. Gas. We got gold, silver, brown gas, crystals, all there. And then go to Nuke Social to check out, join on my social media, and which will allow you to join the Tinfoil Hat Telegram and the Zero Telegram. So anything else, guys?
Nope, we rocking.
Check out the new Broken Sim. It's a good one.
It's a good one. And then any of my free audio, just go to samtripoli.com, click the links. It will take you to all the free audio. Enjoy this episode with my boy, Colum Tyrrell, who I love very much. Really great comic. Enjoy the show. And happy St. Patty's Day.
We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink.
All right, let's get into it. Very excited for this podcast. Been excited to do it. I was going to do we'll get into that later, but was gigging with this guy. I believe it was New Year's we did. Was it New Year's we did in at the Comedy Store?
Yeah, we did.
He crushed.
Oh, thanks.
And he's I'm very excited to talk to him, man. He gave me a lot. Watching him perform gave me I remember when I was young and just fucking slinging it, and it was fun to watch. He's got a podcast called the Colum Tyrrell Podcast. Please welcome Colum Tyrrell. How are you, brother?
Oh, I'm great, man. Thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks for the kind words.
Well, dude, it was real fun to watch.
I'm looking forward. You're doing my show on Friday, right?
Yes. So happy.
Yes, that's
we're
sold
gonna
out.
put this out right before St. Patty's Day. So happy St. Patty's Day.
Yes.
To all the Irish and everybody who acts like they're Irish on that day. Is that annoying? Is that annoying?
No, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. As long as you're out having fun, why not? I want to wear a sombrero and a poncho on Cinco de Mayo. So if I want to do that, you should be allowed to dress up as a leprechaun or whatever.
Yeah. I think it's always interesting because you see, it was very, I watch this guy, Mark Dice. He talks a lot of shit on YouTube. And so he was breaking down Jimmy Kimmel's Oscar speech. I thought the Oscars were fun. I really loved one of the movies that got recognized. It's one of my favorite movies, which is Everything Everywhere All at Once. It was a phenomenal movie. But he was doing a joke about how there was going to be a bunch of Irish on stage, which was going to be the level of the possibility of fighting had just jumped. And I thought, and Mark Dice brought up a really great point that you couldn't say that about black people. It's like you could be oh, there's going to be a bunch of black people here, so we're going to have a bunch of fights going on. No, but you could totally go off on Irish about them being drunks and fight with everybody.
That's why we're better than black people, right? Because we can take the joke. Although a lot of Irish are getting very offended these days, because SNL just did a sketch and they did impressions of Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson, and they made the characters incoherent. You couldn't understand them. And then they go, well, they're off to get drunk or whatever. And Irish Twitter is up in arms going, this is so offensive.
Irish Twitter's out there, bro?
Irish Twitter is out there, dude. And I can't believe it. It's such mild, inoffensive jokes. First of all, Irish people are hard to understand. As an Irish person, there's parts of the country I have no idea what the fuck they're saying. And we do like to drink. We've got one of the highest alcoholism rates in the world. What are you talking about? I guess.
And that is what we get into, where this whole movement to get us not to believe anything we see or hear or experience. And it's just utterly ridiculous. And then you had I don't know if you guys watch the Oscars. But they had this woman who was in Wakanda, Black Panther, and she's talking in Wakanda, and it's like the weirdest thing. It's like, that's not real, right? Like you're not doing a real language. You're buying into it too much. And it's just this weird kind of thing that just goes on where, and it's very interesting because, you're bringing up that the Irish are getting mad. I don't think the answer is more outrage. I think the answer is less outrage, more going at the people who get upset all the time.
Yeah. I also think the people that are getting mad are the people that are on Twitter. And I do think people that are on Twitter tend to want to be opinionated about stupid stuff. So the vast majority of people probably never even watched SNL, don't give a fuck, and then they're not going on Twitter to complain. It's just like there's a louder minority of people. That's like that's how they generate views and clicks and stuff like that.
I have a feeling that the people on Twitter are the same people that used to answer polls or surveys. People that care.
Right.
Great example. It's a great example of who is doing these polls.
I wouldn't say they're people who care. I would say they're people who are bored with their life and they have nothing going on. So they have to find some kind of something to fight against. Like, oh my God, I'm battling like fascism or whatever. Like, imaginary fucking monster they're going up against. And you would just watch these people. Like, there was a comic out there who kind of got super conservative. I'm not gonna say his name, but I watched him go like crazy on Twitter. And he started with like one little tweet and he got so many likes on it, and then you just saw him change. Like a dopamine hit. And I would see, like, you remember Herschel Walker's gay son? Like that guy, he's like Herschel Walker's gay conservative son was just on Twitter, just dropping bombs on everybody. But he just started tweeting stuff that he knew would get 1,000 likes and 1 billion likes. And it just becomes like this whole thing, like going viral is destroying the country.
Oh, yeah. TikTok does it on purpose to kids. They let kids go viral because once you go viral, like you said, it's a dopamine thing. They'll keep making the same content just to make it happen one more time. So let them go viral on purpose. TikTok lets you, it makes it happen. Go viral once, you're addicted forever.
Interesting. That'd be like if the bookies could make your first ever bet win, they would do that and let you get hooked. Yeah.
It's drug dealer mentality. Oh yeah, here, free on me, sample. Enjoy this.
Yes.
Get weird. Have fun. Colum, before we get into anything else, can you tell us where our listeners can find you?
You can check out my podcast, the Colum Tyrrell podcast, and I'm on the road across America doing dates. All tickets are available at columtyrrell.com, and they'll be there forever. So,
where's some dates you got coming up?
Well, I'm in San Diego. I don't know when this comes out. I'm in San Diego on the 16th of March. I'm in LA with you. That's sold out already. Then I'll be in Vegas at the Comedy Cellar for the week after that. Then I've got dates coming up in Houston, Austin, Dallas, a bunch of other places coming up too. I can't think of them off the top of my head.
Are you tempted to move to Austin?
No, probably not. No, but maybe
New York.
I like New York. Yeah, I don't think Austin's kind of it's a dirty place. It's a little bit too much of a. There's too much partying going on. I did a weekend there not too long ago, and it was crazy. It was just all boozing. It was all chaos. Every night was just a blackout, and then waking up the next day going, "What happened? How did I get home?" You know, it's a dangerous spot out there. And then they're opening 2 new clubs. You know, obviously Rogan has his new club, but there's another club opening too. Going to be kind of nuts.
It just seems where all the outlaws are moving to and going to one place, kind of like what the Comedy Store was for a long time. And now they're all out there. And word is that Theo Vaughn's moving out there too. So it's more crazy. That. I think Tim Dillon moved out there.
Yeah, and Dillon.
His was more taxes than anything. He's like, dude, I am making too much.
Dude, that's not a bad reason though. You can't criticize a guy. My voice is gone. Sorry, guys. You can't criticize him for that.
It's gonna be the best episode ever.
It's just gone.
But you can't criticize him.
Yeah, I mean,
can't criticize anybody.
No, I'm with you, dude. If I was making Tim Dillon money, I'd be moving out there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, well, you're in LA, so you got nice weather. In New York, the weather stinks, so I do understand going somewhere just to have a nice bit of heat, when it's dry. But there's just so many homeless and shit. It's nasty. It's like a nasty little. It's a dirty little city.
Seems like these world-class cities have been destroyed by these like ridiculous policies of rich people who feel bad about being rich. That's what it seems like. It's just like, it's like they live in this like never land where it's like if you give homeless people money and drugs, somehow they're no longer going to be home. I don't know. like San Francisco Portland just wants to give everybody $1,000 with no like rules of what you could do with the $1,000. I don't know if you've ever given homeless people money, but I've literally watched them go, "Hey man, you're down and out. Here's a 20." And I've watched them walk over cross street and buy crack with the $20.
Yeah, of course.
It's just weird. It's just weird, and it's fucking.
It's tough. What's the only solution I've ever been, and I always feel ethically bad because I see homeless people and I'm like, you're a person like everyone else, and you're down on your luck maybe, and things didn't go well for you. You didn't have the opportunities that other people had maybe. But at the same time, I was just like, ooh, like fucking gross. Like even though I know that I do go ugh, like I go ugh, and I hate that I go ugh, but I do.
Well, there is some ugh to it. There is to it. The question is, how do most of these people get there?
I think we got to just have a designated homeless city. Just send them to somewhere in Virginia that it doesn't matter.
What are the rules?
California, they call it Fresno. They're sending them all to Fresno.
Is that what they're doing?
Literally, San Francisco, Sacramento, sending all their homeless to Fresno. Now in LA, I don't know if you guys have known, but we've seen I mean, like they've gotten rid of a lot of these encampments. There's still some, but there's not. I'm going, where are these people right now? They didn't just disappear. They didn't just decide to stop smoking meth and get a real job. They're somewhere. And how'd they
get rid of them?
They've been snatching them. That's literally what's going on. They're snatching them and throwing them into hotels. But how long can you maintain that?
But New York in like the 80s and 90s had a huge homeless thing, and they took over the parks, and then they changed the law so that it was like illegal to sleep outside. And then they just came in one night with a bunch of cops and fire hoses and washed out all of the little tent.
Giuliani got credit for that, but what he never told you guys was that he didn't solve the homeless problem. He put them on buses and sent them to Southern California.
Is that what he did?
All your homeless people.
Well, now it's your turn to send them somewhere else. That's
that's Fresno. I mean, we should just all send them to Hawaii. Where are they going to go?
And a little island out there. Let them do their thing.
Diego Garcia, just in the middle of nowhere. Good luck. Figure it out.
I think most of the liberals who approach that issue are approaching it with a false presumption that everybody wants to be in a home. I mean, there are just some people who prefer to live out in the wild, and there are always going to be a percentage of people who just want to live on the streets.
And I respect that, actually. Do you know that? I have a weird respect to someone who looks at society and goes, no way, you do that. I'm doing heroin and I'm sleeping under a bridge, and you can worry about taxes and the time. I'm like, I do respect someone who just goes off the grid. And goes,
you got to think about it. If you're making minimum wage, you're literally living paycheck to paycheck. Why not live like them?
Yeah, why not just chill out and play hacky sack all day?
I've heard people say that. Why would I work just to pay rent and live when I can just hang out?
Yeah, and have you noticed? I mean, the quality of your average homeless person now is, I mean, they could be an undergrad at the state college or a homeless person. I mean, they're just kind of, a lot of younger people kind of dressed in like almost a hipster attire you're seeing now, especially around LA.
Half of them are fat with iPads. Like,
yeah, iPads. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen iPads.
It's just unbelievable. This guy was begging for food with an iPhone. He had an iPhone in his hand and telling me he was hungry and needed something. I'm like, just use fucking, some kind of food app, dog. What
was he asking you to like Venmo and money? What was
Hey, dude, give me a little. Well, that's what I was thinking about. Let's get into a couple things here real quick. First of all, it is St. Patty's Day. I've talked to you about this before. we got Friday, St. Patty's Day. It's like, the bars get so excited when St. Patty's Day falls on a Friday or a Saturday, right?
Oh yeah.
That's what, even like New Year's, Halloween, and New Year's, Halloween, St. Patty's Day, and July 4th. If they're on a weekend, like the bars are excited, man. People are making money. Everyone's going hard in the paint. So I was listening to Joe Rogan one day, and he was talking about how come people get mad at blackface, but they don't get mad at pirates.
Okay.
And I go, okay, I do. That makes sense to me. But I go, the real thing is, and I talked about this on his show, is that how come people are mad at blackface, but we're okay with St. Patty's Day, which is celebrating genocide in Ireland? This is when the Catholic Church went in and just killed all the fucking pagans that were in Ireland. Now, is that well known in Ireland? Is that part of the you guys just don't care, or?
Well, okay, because I never really thought of it like that, because we're all raised Christian and Catholic. We don't think of it as a genocide of the pagans. We think of it as a curing and a fixing and a saving of Ireland. But I never really thought about the poor pagans. I've only ever been brainwashed as a child to be like, yo, we saved this island of sinners. But did he kill them off, or was it just true education where they're like, no, stop believing in the sun god, you got to believe in Jesus?
I think he killed them off. Now, if you study St. Patrick, and this is something that we got into with Rogan, if you study his history, he was like, either he was conquered or he's born a slave.
Yeah, he was a slave. Yeah, they say he was a Welsh slave, which is from the country of Wales, which is a different country to Ireland. And then he was brought over. He was like one of these like slave kids. I think his parents might have sold him. And then from there, he figured out Christianity somewhere. And then he brought that as a missionary. He was like a missionary to Ireland.
And the Catholic Church sent him to whoop ass and drop hammers on everybody.
Yeah.
So he went into the forest and killed the tree people. All the tree huggers. The druids called tree huggers.
There was a lot of them though. But he looks like a druid. He had the long cloak, and he has the staff. But but there was a lot of them. He just became the most famous one. He was the most successful one. A
lot of people came over and tried to whoop ass, and like he was just the best at. He's the Michael Jordan of Irish genocide.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yes. And then obviously he got rid of the snakes, which is just an analogy for the pagans. There was never.
But
any snakes.
Everybody thinks when they say that, they literally think he was getting rid of the snake, like literal snake. Like he showed up and he's pipered some shit.
Don't they take the Bible very seriously too? Isn't a lot of this all symbolism? Like, isn't a lot of religious stories just like symbolism?
Yeah, that's everything. I mean, like, there's a real discussion of in the Garden of Eden, the story of the Garden of Eden. What does the snake represent? Does he represent Lucifer? Does he represent the devil? Or does he represent knowledge that was given to them? So that's the whole thing. Like I'm really in this kind of weird place right now because I'm getting spiritual, and I really would love to get into like Christianity and all that stuff because, I'm cool with Jesus and all that, which is a weird topic when you get into it with comedians because I don't know if you want to see a weird reaction. There's two weird reactions on stage when you do stand-up. Drop an N-bomb or talk about Jesus. You get the same kind of weirdness on stage.
Yeah, usually the same act, to be honest.
So it's like everyone gets kind of quiet and they're like, what the fuck just happened? But it's like, it's just super interesting, like hidden history and all that stuff. I know you're not really a huge conspiracy theorist, and that's why I was excited to have you on, because I kind of want to get your feel on a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well, but the thing with St. Patrick, most people think he's from Ireland and was just a guy. And then I guess he talked to Jesus and then spread the good word. And then he got rid of the the snakes. And then he had some other stories. I can't remember them off the top of my head right now. I should have researched them, but there's some other, tales of St. Patrick doing certain things. I believe he grew a cloak or something at one point. There was someone wanted to build a church, and he went to a farmer, and was like, "Can we build a church on your land?" And then he was like, "Sure, but only the size of your cloak or something." So then he threw the cloak down, and it grew to be like the whole size of the whole thing. So
like St. Patrick was basically like an Avenger at that point. He was like Doctor Strange of Ireland.
Yeah, he was just
he had a cloak. He fucked people up.
Yeah, he was going out doing what he wants, just spreading the good word.
The history of all of just religion. Are you a religious guy at all?
No, not at all.
None.
No, not even the slightest, really. No.
Are you just an atheist? Are you just like, there's nothing, we just die, we just do blow, get weird, die, and
yeah, I do believe there's probably some connection that I've experienced just through heavy hallucinogenics, but realistically, I don't believe in like any sort of higher power out there. I don't believe in an afterlife or anything like that. I was raised Catholic, but again, by the time I was born in 1990, so the Catholic Church was like right.
Crazy to me. What year were you born, XG?
93.
Damn.
Yeah.
I graduated high school by then.
Yeah, but Catholicism was on its way out in Ireland. Ireland was super religious, and then they had all the crimes of the church came out all through the 80s and the 90s. So by the time the 2000s hit, no one wanted to be really associated with the church. And we became rich. We were poor. We were always religious because we were so poor. And then as soon as we became rich, you're like, see you later, God. Rich people don't need God. Rich people hate God. It's all poor people love God.
So why did you guys become rich?
Just economics. They were able to. They've set in place a good education system where we became like one of the leading tech workers in Europe, and then we got rid of taxes for corporations. So all these huge corporations moved their head office to Ireland, and things like that. Just good economic policies and the country just skyrocketed. So,
Johnny, isn't Apple have a headquarters? Is there a famous headquarters of Apple in Ireland where they went?
I mean, it's
like
one of those,
nobody there.
It's one of those straw headquarters, for tax purposes. Yeah.
Google's out there too. Google's
there's tons of them. Yeah.
Dell, I think, is out there. There's loads of big, and the rest of the EU all have like a pact where it's like you got to charge 12.5% corporate interest tax or something, and then Ireland was like, no, we're doing 2%, and that's it. And they've always hated us for it, but we're like, yo, fuck you.
So when the Queen died, Ireland was like celebrating.
I think a lot of people were kind of happy. Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, she's just she's the matriarchy of like such an impressive figure. Ireland was under British rule for so long, and they still claim Northern Ireland. And then we've just obviously had our battles with them. They are the perfect representation of colonialism or whatever. And like when you're a country that's been taken over like that, it kind of sucks. The only problem is everyone was celebrating, but like she's 98 or something. That wasn't a W. That was it would have been good if she was fucking 20. That's a good time for the Queen to die. You know, on 98, she was put out of her misery.
Yeah, I mean, dude, and she went out kicking, dude. She did not want to give it up to that fucking weirdo son of hers. Dude. King Charles is a weirdo, bro.
Yeah,
he's a weirdo.
Yeah, I wonder, does he have any sort of dodgy?
Yeah.
Does he? What does he have going on?
Dude, he was best friends with like the #1 pedophile in like Britain forever. What was that DJ's name?
Oh, Jimmy Savile.
Yeah. Best friends with Savile. Savile weirdo.
Well, I mean, there's records of Charles soliciting advice on really important issues of Jimmy Savile, like their letters, correspondence they exchanged, where he genuinely sought the guy's advice for very serious, like matters of state. You know, it's bizarre. Their relationship was strange.
Savile was the most crazy evil of them all.
So
Savile's
dark
stuff where he used to like go spend time at the children's morgues and stuff. Like he would just like they would let him into children's hospitals and he would go to the morgue and then they would leave him there and he'd be like, yeah, I just want to hang out here for a few hours. And they're like, okay, sure. And then he had like victims' teeth and stuff. He wore them around his neck. He was crazy. But then you know about the orphanage, I don't know its name, in Northern Ireland, where all of the
explain the difference between Northern Ireland.
Yeah, so some people from Ireland will get offended from the fact that I even say Northern Ireland, but the island of Ireland is 32 counties, and it used to be under British rule, and then in 1918, through civil war and violence, we were able to. The Republic of Ireland was given its freedom, which was like the southern states, which is like the bottom 2/3 of the state, and then the top third, which I think is 6 counties, maybe I'm wrong, that stayed under British rule. And the reason that stayed under British rule is because when Britain took over Ireland, they moved all the Scottish Protestants to Northern Ireland. So it didn't make sense to give us back then because there were so many Protestants up there. Nowadays, Catholics outnumber the Protestants, which is a good old-fashioned no condom, it's a very good survival technique. If you're a religion, make sure that
outbreed everybody.
Yeah, you got to just outbreed them. That's the trick. That's the goal to world dominance.
There's a lot of people who believe that the big reason why Israel is building so many walls around Israel is because the Palestinians are just outbreeding them. They're just humping constantly, cranking out little Palestinians left and right.
It's a good technique, you know. How many soldiers do you have? All right, give me 18 years. And you just bang, bang, bang.
Is that what Mexicans are doing? Or are we just
that's a big thing that they think's going on in the United States too. And when you throw it like there was this, Ryan Long put out this tweet about how in Canada they have seen that like 2/3 of women have said they experience mental illness. And you're like, geez, 2/3 of, and then the most likely the other third is lying, right? But 2/3 of them are experiencing mental illness. Okay. So you go into why is that happening? Well, you got feminism, shish kebabbing women with like, you shouldn't have kids, you should focus on your career. Then they're on birth control, and that's fucking with their biology. And now everything is mental illness. Now they're all on pharmaceuticals.
That's a big one too, in terms of just having a bad patch in your life where you're like maybe a little bit down, and then that gets diagnosed as depression or whatever, or any sort of anxiety or any sort of little thing that's different. They will make it seem like it's a medical disorder, and hey, what a coincidence, we also have the cure. We've just diagnosed you with something that you didn't know you had, and we also have the tablets for you to fucking buy every week.
Well, and this will totally connect with what you're saying right now, but in LA, they got rid of traffic cams. And the reason they got rid of in LA, there's other parts, but in LA, they got rid of traffic cams because the companies that were taking the pictures of the traffic violations were making money off, and they go, oh, that's a violation. You can't be making money off of these. Well, you take a look at the pharmaceutical companies, all these doctors that are prescribing all this medication are also making money off the medication, every drug that they sell. So they're incentivized to load you up. Like I had a very good friend of mine whose sister was on 8 different pharmaceutical drugs.
Wow.
8!
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, I want to tell you about our friends at HelixSleep.com. Everyone on the show has a Helix sleep bed, okay? I got one. I took the quiz, answered the questions, got a bed. I'm gonna be honest with you. Dana, myself have one. Our dog has one. Both the dogs, Roger, Pollyanna, both love the bed. They took the quiz and they got a nice firm one, okay? Helix Sleep is a premium mattress brand that provides tailored mattresses based on your unique sleep preferences. Helix lineup includes 14 unique mattresses, including collection of luxurious models, a mattress for big and tall sleepers, and a mattress just for kids. So how we know which mattress is best for you? Okay, real quick, take the Helix Sleep quiz and find your perfect mattress in under 2 minutes. And your personalized mattress is shipped straight to your door, free of charge, okay? Helix knows there's no better way to test a mattress than to sleep on it in your home. That's why they offer a 100 nights trial and a 10 to 15-year warranty to try out your new Helix mattress, okay? Everyone's unique and everyone sleeps differently. That's why Helix has several different mattress models to choose from and designed for specific sleep positions and feel preferences. Okay, I took this sleep quiz and I matched up with a model mattress that felt firm, okay? And I sleep on a firm mattress year-round all the time. Plus, Helix mattresses are American-made, okay? American-made with a 10 to 15-year warranty, depending on the model, okay? Don't want to take my word for it. Don't want to take my Xavier's word for it. Don't want to take Johnny's word for it.
Why would you?
Why would you, okay? Helix has been awarded the #1 mattress picked by GQ and Wired Magazine, okay? So here's what we're going to do. Helix is offering up to 20% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. So this is what you do. Go to helixsleep.com/tinfoil. This is the best offer yet, and it won't last long. Visit Helix. Better sleep starts now.
Did you watch Dope Sick?
Yeah.
It was great. And then at one point, they talk about the history of Purdue Pharma, and it was like the main guy, the head CEO, his like great grandfather or grandfather had set up Purdue Pharma. And one of the successful things that he did was he created a new type of pain. He penned the name of it. I can't remember the type of pain, but he just invented it. And then he spread that amongst doctors. And then he said, my medicine fixes that pain. But that pain hadn't existed before. And that's how Purdue Pharma, and that was the same principles that they've stuck by in terms of creating new sickness. And then you have the cure for it. It's crazy. Crazy stuff.
It's very interesting because when you watch Dope Sick, I'm amazed that Dope Sick even was allowed to come out.
Yeah.
Because it basically tells you how they got you to take a vaccine, which is, create this problem, completely buy up all the doctors, get them all completely hooked on the money that they could make by putting out this vaccine and lying to their faces about what the vaccine does. Now, I just saw something on Twitter, and this is going to get really weird for you, Colum, but
okay,
where it was on 60 Minutes, okay? And this doctor was like, they never isolated the virus. And what does that mean when they say they never isolate a virus? And this is where I lose everybody. Brian Callen goes nuts on me when I say this to him. But when they say, oh, you never isolate a virus, what does that mean? Well, it's called Cox postulates. And it's basically that you have confirmed through data and tests over and over again that A causes B. It's been confirmed. You can replicate it in all these different studies and projects and everything, like experiments. A equals B. Well, they've never been able to do that. And Johnny, if you want to push back on this, you can. But like, let's say HIV, right? They've never ever proven HIV causes AIDS. It's never been proven at all. So when they say they never isolate, that's what they mean. Yes.
They've never proven that?
Never proven.
Well, I mean, I can find things that say like, okay, here's something from the National Institutes of Health. And then
I'll show you this right now where this guy was on 60 Minutes, which is super important because if you don't find one of their legacy media. And then,
well, but I mean, I'm inclined to agree with you on this, Sam, honestly. So, yeah. But I what you'll hear from some people will explain that away as like that's an outmoded sort of standard is what they'll say, the Cox postulates. But I don't know enough about it to argue that. So.
But what you'll find is that you'll never see a virologist debate somebody who believes in what they call terrain theory. And terrain theory is, And if this is too deep in the weeds for you, Colum, just tell me if this is
that's
getting
all right.
too
I'm listening,
technical
I
and
like it.
retarded. Terrain theory is that you do not get affected by things on the outside. That what happens is that everything, your sickness comes from inside, your biology, and basically like you have this kind of system, right? And if you don't sleep, you don't eat right, you do too many drugs, your system gets out of whack, and your bacteria and germs inside of you build up to cause you to be sick. There's also times, so if someone goes, I don't believe in viruses, right? Most people would think first thing is like, oh, you're retarded. Okay.
Yeah.
And the second thing is people would think, oh, you don't see anything there. So like if we're looking through what's it called, Johnny? Microscope, right? You're looking through that, we would see the same thing. We would see something in there. Virologists will tell you that's a virus. But what terrain theorists believe is that is in fact what they call an exosome. And what is an exosome? That is where your body has excreted toxins. That's how it cleans itself out. It excretes toxins out of itself. And basically what it is like we are mammals, and just like mammals have mating season, we have a season in which we excrete toxins, and they've relabeled it the flu. So basically flu season is when we our bodies clean out, and we all get sick because we're cleaning out the toxins. But what happened was the Rockefellers came through, and they basically hijacked the healthcare industry with all their money, and they killed off homeopathic healthcare, and they basically replaced it with germ theory, which is that we are getting sick by things on the outside. Okay, so which is viruses. They've never ever in the history of time taken one virus, taken it from one host, and put it into another host and had it cause sickness. It's never happened ever in the history of time. Never. Not once. There's never been an experiment in which they did it. They'll tell you that. And virologists aren't lying to you, okay? Like your shirt is red, right? You have a red shirt on. But if I tell you from the moment you're a little baby that color is blue, you grow up thinking that's blue. Everyone else says it's red, but you think it's blue because that's how you've been taught. That's what virologists do. They look at something called an exosome, and they realize they're told it's a virus, so they learn how to deal with it as a virus. But in reality, it's an exosome, and you're excreting toxins. But they are told that because if you have a virus, you have to have a vaccine, and that's where they make all their money. Have I lost you?
No, I do. It is interesting how deep this stuff goes, because there's so much money to be made, and once there's money to be made, humans are going to lie. So I do genuinely distrust big pharma. They're not curing you or helping you because they're ethically moral. They're doing it to make money.
100%.
And I'm sure a lot of medical practice is correct and honest, but it's very hard to tell how far it goes and what is and what's not. I watched Russell Brand was talking to some guy who challenges the health industry or whatever. That's his job, and he was saying that the thing about Purdue Pharma with all the oxycodone is that all of their practices is completely standard. They're not like an outlier in the field. Xanax, all these guys all follow the exact same stuff. The only problem with Purdue Pharma is their product was killing people and causing too much pain. The trick is to have a product that only gets you addicted, but doesn't really, cause huge communities to be devastated. So
100%. And they also went around telling you it was non-addictive when they told you it was addictive. That's where they got in trouble.
Yeah.
By lying to you about that. But so let's get into this whole thing about the lab leak. What is your thoughts on that?
It does. Well, can you? Because I was just talking to someone about this the other day. Was it an American lab within China, or was it a Chinese regulated lab?
It was an American government, U.S. government lab in China, and
we were working. I thought the governments hate each other. Why would they allow Americans to come into their soil?
Because the Chinese and the America, they hate each other the way pro wrestlers hate each other, right?
Okay, yeah,
it's a big show.
Yes.
And they need each other. Like if the United States cut off China, their economy would just implode.
Yeah.
But if China cut off the United States, we would be fucked too. So we're in this kind of mutual agreed annihilation. So we kind of work together, and all this is just fucking theater going on. There is something about the petrodollar. We can get into that as well, because I'd love to hear your opinions on what's going on with the banks, because that's a big deal right now. But so if we're going through this whole thing that maybe viruses don't exist the way we're taught. Yeah. So you have this whole thing where it came from eating bats, which is the exact same playbook as AIDS, right? Somebody fucked a monkey, and we all believed it. And we're like, yeah, somebody fucked a monkey, bro. like just think about what it takes to hold down a monkey to fuck. I mean, just that in itself. Yeah. It's like, did anyone go, how did this happen? Was it at knife point? Did it just what did they do? You remember here when they would tell you how farmers make love to sheep? They get them at the end of a mountain where they're going to go over. They're like, it's either dick or die. Which one's it going to be?
That's the classic tale. Yeah.
Like you take that much time to bang a sheep. Like you would go through that much work. Like a farmer has that kind of time. But
monkeys like, that's just pinned down missionary. That's what that is. That's as close to
choking out a monkey. And it's not chimpanzee, by the way, because if you go try to fuck a chimpanzee, it will rip your dick off.
Yeah, it's nothing big. It's a cute little one, like from The Hangover, too. You know, one of those little...
Like that little small, like a little small one?
Yeah, that's what it is. And it has a little... it plays those little drums.
Has it got a vest? The little vest as well?
Yeah, the little Hindu hat or whatever. That's some poor monkey. Maybe he was trained to take human cock. Maybe that's what every time he fucked his master, he got some peanuts or something. That makes sense, right?
Imagine thinking oh, dude, if I just take this dick, I'll get some of those sweet peanuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
The story makes no sense whatsoever. Yeah. It means nothing. It makes no sense. But that's what we wanted to believe, right? So you create this is how it goes, man. This is the playbook. And tell me if you're getting too weirded out or bored of this conversation.
No, I like it.
It goes, the U.S. government states something weird's going on, right? Then the news goes, we're perplexed by this. It's fucking weird, but it's only happening to this group of people. So then you get everybody to accept, oh, it's only happening to this group of people. I'm good. And once you accept that, and Eddie Bravo talks about this all the time, once you accept that, it validates it in your head. It's real, but it's real for somebody else. And then the news agency that you really support, okay, says, oh, by the way, someone who's just like you got it. Now you're fucked because you validate it in your head. And next thing you know, we all have to wear condoms because chicks are convinced that they could get AIDS.
Yeah, are you saying Big Condom was behind the AIDS?
Big Condom, bro, was the great. Our buddy Eddie Bravo does a giant joke on it. That was the golden era of condoms.
Trojan made bank on the back of that.
They were killing it, dude. You were buying fucking stock. Everybody was wearing it.
Wow.
One dude held down a monkey for peanuts.
Everybody had one in their wallet. When's the last time you seen someone with the condom in their wallet?
This guy just turned 30, dude. You got condom in your wallet?
No. Why would I? That's what I'm saying. No one has them no more. Back when I grew up, I remember everyone had a condom in their wallet, and they'd be like, "You gotta let it go every so months because they go bad."
And every 6 months, the condom industry fires their CEO. And they get a new guy in there that's like, I'm going to turn this thing around. We're gonna get people wearing condoms ever. Then 6 months later, he's like, oh fuck, man, I can't get anything going, dude. They're gonna fire me, bro. And that's just how it goes. Every condom should say under new management. That's what it should say.
Well, that's probably another scam in terms of what they created their own best before date with a condom. So they said, listen, just tell everyone that it doesn't work after 6 months. So then you have to buy more. That's like another fake marketing thing that's probably fine for 2 years. But why would they say that when they can convince you to buy a new packet every 6 months? But do you think there's enough money within the condom industry to manufacture AIDS and let that leak out? Do you think there's enough? Do you think there's enough people involved in that industry to be like, yo, this is a financially profitable thing? I can understand pharma, but I just don't think the Magnum guy has enough money to make AIDS.
Well, I don't think necessarily that the condom industry was behind AIDS. I think they just got the benefits of it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Look,
Right?
and that's fine. Be there, right time, right place.
So what happened was with AIDS didn't kill you. What killed you was AZT. AZT was a cancer drug that they'd been testing on people, but it was so toxic it would kill you before the cancer did. So they had to take this drug and put it on the shelf. Well, they hate spending all this money on a drug that never gets to be used. So they had to figure out a way to use this drug. So what they did was they go, hey man, we're going to create this thing called AIDS, and we're going to have everybody on AZT. So you get everybody on AZT, and it's a cancer drug. If somebody's got cancer, they beat cancer, they don't keep taking AZT. But they were taking this cancer drug forever. For the rest of their life, they thought they were going to take AZT. And that's why you saw so many people dying. AIDS didn't kill anybody. AZT killed everybody.
Interesting.
So let's get into this. Let's get into COVID.
Is that a fact, what you just said? Is that a fact, or is that a theory that you just happened to?
That's 100% fact, but
That's
it's like
fact?
super,
Okay.
super black belt, because if you went to anybody else's show and started saying that, they would say Sam's crazy, which they already say, but that's 100% true.
Okay.
AZT, you go, why did Magic Johnson survive and Freddie Prinze die? Why did he survive? Why is Magic Johnson fat now? Because somebody that loved him pulled him aside, go, get off this fucking drug. Stop taking AZT.
Some fucking Lakers fan knew. Some Lakers fan high up in big AIDS.
They're like,
I can't. Yeah, pull him aside.
Off.
Yeah,
so
that's understandable.
Man, he should have told Kobe to get off the helicopter too.
Yeah, by the way, you know we're world star hip hop superstar right now. We're really big on world star hip hop right now. Like, I couldn't go to anywhere black right now and not get mobbed as like, oh my God, you're a legend. It's like I have a lot of street cred right now. Dude, G sent me some, so excited. Because you know Mexicans want to be black so badly. And he was like, dude, we're going big on fucking world star hip hop.
It's got 110,000 views on Sam Tripoli's last post on World Star Hip Hop. I never thought we'd be there.
What is going viral, by the way? What is the number?
What? The episode?
Yeah.
It's the one with
No, I think you mean the views, right?
No, yeah. What is a view? What number do you got hit where you're like, this went viral?
Gotta be a million.
Oh.
It's gotta be a million.
It depends on what time horizon we're talking about. Like if it's in a day, it's 100,000, but over a week, let's say 1 million. Yeah, I think
it has to be a million. It has to be.
We haven't gone viral yet.
Not yet.
And TikTok has to be like 28 million, but everything else is 1 million.
Yeah.
Do you believe those numbers on TikTok?
I also don't believe the numbers on Pornhub. What?
I don't want to anyway.
Pornhub, you'll have a person you've never heard of with 28 billion video. It's insane. Like there's no way that's because there's no like moderator or whatever. There's no one testing out the views. There's no like legal system where you can just lie. Facebook did it. Remember Facebook lied about all their views?
Yeah.
Didn't they put College Humor out of business because of that?
Well, you know who got in real trouble on YouTube? Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga, they got rid of her channel because she was lying about her views.
What, she have bot farms?
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't you think that's like a blue collar almost crime of views? But you think there's probably someone in YouTube you could pull aside and go, yo, here's a Ferrari, add an extra zero onto that. No one can count it. It's not like you can get all the views in a room and fucking audit them. Like none of this is audit. Like Pornhub can't be real.
Well,
right?
Pornhub is CIA.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. I mean, it went to 50 million subscribers faster than any other website ever. Then on top of that, what it did was they took all this porn and made it free, which is part of this like cultural Marxism shit that's going on. Pornhub. So the purpose of Pornhub is to get the data on what you're into.
Yeah.
So what weird shit you're into. Now, a lot of stuff with the really, really shady shit, like the underage shit.
Yeah.
They like to find out who's into that and who might have political aspirations.
Yeah.
And this is how they do it. It's free data. It's Facebook of beating off.
Yeah. Well, they release their thing. They release their findings every year, but I don't trust those either. You know, they always go like, "Oh, people in Delaware love incest porn, and people from Nebraska love bestiality." I don't trust that either. I think that's just. I don't. Why would you even tell us that? There's too much money to be made with that marketing information. They wouldn't just release that for free. They'd sell it to.
Bestiality data is gonna just like that's the new oil, bro. Oil. He's in the weird shit, bro.
Wait, but so they used to have a lot of child porn on Pornhub, and then there was like they got threatened by one of the federal banks. Was like, we're gonna stop working with you guys. So then they overnight Pornhub got rid of like a third of all their videos.
So what Pornhub did was they were being see, I have this whole thing. Okay. So I have this theory that what will happen is like they will out when an old brand is starting to die, they'll bring a new brand in to grab all the people. So Pornhub was really big, but it was mostly like it was all over the place, right? So they wanted everybody to run the OnlyFans. So what you do is you create a controversy, and the best example of that is MySpace and Facebook, right? So MySpace, the CIA went to Tom from MySpace. They're like, hey, we want to collect all the data. And Tom was like, no, fuck you. So what they did was they just replaced it with Facebook, which was, you know, the story of Facebook, right?
I didn't know the CIA were behind it, but I do know.
Oh, yeah. The CIA is behind Google, YouTube, DARPA's behind, and the Pentagon's behind Facebook.
Really?
There's something called LifeLog. You can look this all up. LifeLog was a Pentagon program, which they were going to create a website or a system that could collect your data your entire life. LifeLogs, basically business stopped February 4th, 2004. Do you know what day Facebook was registered as an idea, as a business?
February 5th.
February 4th. 2004, the same exact day. The whole story, the movies and all that stuff is just a giant lie.
That's all propaganda, is it?
That's all bullshit. It's all complete bullshit.
Are the Winklevoss twins in on it?
Yes, that's why they made $1 billion in Bitcoin.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how they buy you off. When you find somebody who's like a billionaire, you're like, how'd that guy become a billionaire? You're like, oh, because he played ball.
Yeah, interesting.
Like NWA, all those guys are billionaires. Like Dr. Dre, billionaire. You're like, how are you billionaire? Oh, yeah, because of beats. Gotcha.
And Zuckerberg knew all this going in? Zuckerberg was just
Zuckerberg is like Zuckerberg is either a Rothschild or a Rockefeller.
Okay. Yeah, that could be.
So all the tech guys, dude, their stories are all bullshit.
Yeah.
Elon Musk isn't what you think he is. Bill Gates isn't what you think he is. Mark Zuckerberg isn't what you think he is. They're all theater actors, and their stories are all complete bullshit.
Interesting.
So Elon Musk is. What's that?
I said I need to do my own research on that. I need to dig deep into this.
Guys, today's episode is also brought to you by Blue Chew. Let's talk about sex, baby. Guys, shouldn't you always be at your best? 2023 is the year to maximize your performance in the bedroom. Listen up. Go to BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra. Okay, buy a chewable tablet for a fraction of the cost. That's right. And you can take it anytime, day or night. So you can plan ahead or be ready whenever the opportunity arises. The process is simple. Sign up at Blue Chew, consult one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. Best part, all done online. So there's no visits to the doctor office, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA, and prepared and shipped directly to your door in a discreet package, okay? I love Blue Chew. These guys love Blue Chew. Who knows where we would be without Blue Chew, okay? We love you, Blue Chew. Man, your boners are the best boners. Number one boner, Blue Chew. Okay, so Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex, okay? Discover your options at BlueChew.com. Chew it and do it. So here's what we got. Special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use the promo code TINFOIL at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com. Promo code TINFOIL to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring this podcast. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so Elon Musk, his parents started were so rich off of emeralds.
Yeah.
His dad used to brag that they couldn't even close the vault. They have so much money.
Yes.
His story about his IQ doesn't check out. Where he went to school doesn't check out. He tried to tell you he created PayPal. He didn't. Johnny gets very upset about he didn't create he didn't create Tesla. He didn't do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
And anybody thinks that he's like trying to take over Twitter for the good of PayPal. It's like that's not happening either.
Just the control of information, is it?
The All app, which is where you'd be on this one app. And you'd have to give your license, and it would be everything. You do all your money, your banking, and all your stuff on this one app.
Yeah, China already has it. It's called the We app or WeChat, We something like that, and they have it all. It's you bank, you do YouTube, you upload there, you do everything on one app. So you don't even need.
So they're all.
So now, Sam, do you not want them to do video on Twitter?
I do want them to do video on Twitter.
I mean, that's just another element of the everything app, right? Is that? You don't fear that?
But I'm so shadow banned. I mean, Colum just had his YouTube channel taken away.
Yeah, well, it's back. They brought.
Oh, you got back?
Yeah, I got it back. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy.
I was lucky. Yeah, but only because I was able to get in contact with a guy because I asked a popular comedian who knew some stuff, and he was able to find me a guy in there, and then they ignored my appeals, and he was able to appeal on my behalf, and then they let me off with nothing. Like it was a warning. I didn't even say. I don't.
Are you still demonetized though? Are you still demonetized, or no, you're back to normal?
I can monetize, but nothing ever gets it always says limited to no ads, and then I can review it. Sometimes like a small clip, but I think I just curse and talk about stuff so much that they're like, no advertisers want to be on it, you know.
Yeah.
But it is crazy. That's so unfair that you need to have relationships to get a proper appeal. You know, when you absolutely
insane to even just get them to look at the appeal. Also, it's funny how dependent you become on these one things. You like, for me personally, removing YouTube changes so many options for me as a comedian going forward. Like, can I ever release my own stand-up special, or am I going to just have to like focus on little reels? Am I going to change my whole style of comedy to like fit Instagram reels and things like that? You know, so
well, dude, that's the whole thing, bro. It's like, you know, Johnny one day sent me basically a graphic of our views on my YouTube channel. And it all was, I mean, we were get 100,000, 150,000 on videos, and now we get 12,000. And it just sucks. It makes my career so much harder. And it's hard for me to get on other shows because they look at my views and they think like, oh, nobody likes me, nobody listens. And they just shadow ban me all the hell. And it sucks because YouTube is the main street of everything. All these other websites are great. All these other platforms are great. But it's like, it's why I want Twitter to do well, because it's the only thing that has name brand that could compete at one point with YouTube.
Yeah.
Because it has name brand.
It's like the biggest, it's like the second biggest search engine in the world now at this point. You
know, the other one is Google, so they're both the same.
Yeah.
And it's like, you see people like Andrew Schultz, who is killing it and doing great, and I love him. He's like, when I got my channel taken down, he reached out to me and helped me out. So I'm a huge fan and forever and great. But that guy's crushing it. I can never do anything. Not that I have the possibilities of doing what Andrew Schultz does, but I'm never going to be able to get to that because they won't let me bang, bro.
Yeah. It's crazy. And here's the conversation we've had since mine was taken down too. It's like I don't think the general public or anyone who thinks about it believes that big companies are woke, or they, like, when you hear Nike do their commercials about, like, end racism, all that stuff, like, are there people sitting around the boardroom genuinely believe that, or do they know it's good for their brand to, like, be involved with, like, liberal agendas?
It's something called ESG, environmental social governance, and it's a credit score with these three giant banks, which is investment firms, BlackRock, Vanguard, which is the real evil one, and then State Street, and they make you hit a certain number on credit in this ESG in order to work with them. So that's why, you'll be like, I'm trans and I'm woman. That's why, what was the name of the candy bar that just had it's Woman's Day and they had a trans woman? Because that just checks all the boxes. And everyone's like, what the fuck you doing? It's like, dude, we got to do it or else BlackRock won't work with us. And that's why all this shit it's what they call astroturfing. Have you heard of that?
No.
Remind
me. Yeah, please.
So when something's moving, people call it grassroots, right? Which means something authentic happened and blew up, and it was a grassroots movement. Well, when corporations try to mask this something as a naturally occurrence, but it's not, it's called astroturfing. And that's where they create something that seems natural, but it's really not. It's not real at all. Like a great example is, I don't know if you've noticed this, but there was a time on Twitter and Instagram where everything was white people saying racist shit. And you're just like, man, there's so many white people saying racist shit. It's unbelievable. And now what's that? All the videos, black people fighting everywhere. It's just every video is black people fighting. Now there's this Twitter account called Fight Haven. Somehow Fight Haven is allowed to operate showing violent fight things. When I got in trouble on Twitter, I couldn't have a profile pic because I did a Photoshop of me on a poster of Enter the Dragon. They put my face on it.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, dude, that's promoting violence. Why this Fight Haven is allowed to show people getting fucking turned into vegetables, getting knocked the fuck out. Well, how does that happen?
And we're talking thousands of retweets. That's a big page for it to be allowed on there.
I've told Twitter that I don't want to see anything from that. I don't follow it, and I've told it Twitter, show me no more of this, and it keeps getting thrown up. It's so clear that they're trying to promote it because of its it's primal. People wanting to see people in violent situations. That's why we like boxing and MMA.
They're promoting it to just create a divide. Is that the point of view? Is that create
100%?
So white people think black people are just fighting constantly, and then black people think that white people are just being racist constantly. And it's only a lot of the time. It's not all of the time.
It's a term called P-dotting.
P-dotting.
P-dotting, and that is where there's a bunch of data out there, and you selectively pick which data you want to highlight, which makes it seem like it's a natural occurrence, but in reality,
P-hacking, right?
You're P-hacking. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
P-hacking. So you select certain data to make it seem like it's a trend, which makes it seem like it's everywhere. So everybody thinks hot black chicks are just fighting on fucking airplanes all day. When in reality, if there was no internet, you wouldn't even know it's happening.
And that comes from, so the reason Twitter promoting that and the reason Twitter want to divide is because that's getting kicked down from the likes of Vanguard and stuff, is it?
Vanguard and just this movement of destabilizing the country. If everybody's fighting with each other, we can't come to understand that there's a small group of people fucking trying to control everything.
So you said that the big tech companies, they have an obligation to do certain things to ESG. And what's the benefit for the likes of BlackRock and Vanguard for the ESG? How do they use that to their advantage? Is it so that these tech companies are compliant?
Divide and conquer.
the general public. They want the
So
public to be.
if we're focusing on gender wars,
Yes.
if we're focusing on drag queen story hour, we're not focusing on the fact that our monetary system is basically raping us. Right? Like when you pay taxes, a lot of people think when you pay taxes, it goes to, funding the roads and funding all that stuff and all that. It doesn't. When you pay taxes, it goes to pay off the interest on the money we borrow from the Federal Reserve.
Okay.
We're just paying off all the interest. What pays off all this stuff is all the money we borrow from the Federal Reserve. So we can never catch up. It's not meant. So and that's why every time they print more money, the value of the dollar goes down. So like, let's say you got 80 grand in your bank account. You think I have 80 grand worth of money. Yay for me. I'm killing it. 80 grand's killing it, right? But in reality, that 80 grand isn't the 80 grand of 10 years ago or 20 years ago. Your grandfather's 80 grand is worth way more than your 80 grand because they printed so much of it that's not worth what it was. And then, you brought up earlier, which is something I want to get into with you, with homeless people and Venmo, like it's going cashless.
Yeah, cashless is a huge thing.
And we're all just going with it because it's convenient.
Yeah. They've done that in Scandinavia. They wiped out, like, at least Sweden is like, there's no cash. They did that years ago. They really pushed and pushed. And I think Canada did something similar where they charge companies more to pay if they paid their employees cash. This is just what someone I know who worked in construction, and it's very hard to be like an illegal immigrant in Canada because
I tried paying where I live at. The guy literally told me it'd be cheaper if I just paid through direct deposit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's like, if you want to do cash, it's going to be 100 more, which is I didn't understand.
Usually the opposite, right? Usually the discount is for the cash. We got away from it for a second, but we're talking about when you were talking about AIDS, do they know where AIDS started? Like similar to Wuhan, where coronavirus, they say it started in a wet market, right? But we know that there was a lab there, right? So the coincidence of that is insane. But with AIDS, where was the first AIDS, and was there also a lab in that area? Do people know that?
So what happened was that there was a Hep B shot. This is how they do. They kick it off, right? They do free Hep B shots in San Francisco. Or New York. It was San Francisco or New York. They were giving away free Hep B shots. And that's where they told everybody things. That's where it began, the whole AIDS epidemic breakout. But in reality is that there's never so do you know the movie Dallas Buyers Club?
Yeah.
Do you know who the bad guy in that movie is?
I don't remember. No.
Dr. Fauci.
Oh, is he?
He's the bad guy. He's the one that won't give them cheap drugs to fight AIDS.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's the same thing that they do all the time. They create a problem and then they have a miracle drug to save it. But in reality, it wasn't a miracle drug. And you just see if you go into a famous book, if you ever want to have a moment to read something very easily, okay? And it's a lot of fun. It's called Behold the Pale Horse, but they break down basically the whole game, which is push everybody into gay lifestyles and then try to kill everybody off with a miracle, with a virus, which will get them to take the AZT, which is a cancer drug, which they think they're taking it to stop AIDS. So you think AIDS was very much intentionally distributed for the goal of killing gays and for profit? Yep.
That's what they were the two main benefits.
Yes.
And why do they want to kill gays? Because they don't make kids? What is the benefit of killing?
Well, because if you take a look at like let's say any communist country, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you ever study the Russian Revolution, the Bolshevik Revolution?
I have not, no.
Okay, so if you study the Bolshevik Revolution, you will realize that it was completely funded by the bankers. They sent in all these people that acted like they were Russians, and they created this chaos, which created the Bolshevik Revolution. And they did use something called useful idiots, which Stalin would talk about. They would get like these super liberals to do all this dirty work. And once fascism and Marxism is in, they eliminate them. Okay. So the whole goal is to get everybody into. So if you take a look at, let's say, any communist country, pick one. Like, where are ethnic minorities, women? How are ethnic minorities, women, and gays treated? Horribly. They're almost eliminated. Go to China, where are the gays? Go to Russia, where are the gays? Where are the ethnic minorities in Russia? Where are the ethnic minorities in China? They had such an ethnic cleansing in China that that there used to be like 300 different ethnic Chinese in China. Now there's 50 of them, and like 90% of the country is one ethnic group. They've just ethnic cleansed the fuck out of that place. So that's what they do. They herd everybody into something, then they eliminate the fringes. That's just how they operate.
Okay. Interesting.
It's weird. Yeah. But that's literally the game plan. Look at how women are treated in Russia. Look at how women are treated in China. Look at how any of these communist countries, look how women, ethnic minorities, and alternative lifestyles are treated. They're treated like shit. They're just pushed to the fringe, if not eliminated altogether. I don't know why they want to push them into the gay lifestyle. I think they figure that gays are docile. I don't know what it is, but that you read the Pale Horse, that's kind of what they're doing. And then they push everybody into the gay lifestyle, and then they push AIDS on everybody, where they take this cancer drug that's super toxic. Now, if you take a look at it, COVID, everyone's going off on COVID and go nuts. Talk to nurses. What are they giving everybody? Remdesivir. You had Trump talking about remdesivir. Study the history of remdesivir. It was an Ebola drug that had a 50% fatality rate. What does that mean? Well, that means when that drug was tested against a placebo in which people didn't take any drugs, the drug had a 50% higher fatality rate.
Yeah. Wow.
Killed off 50% more people. And that was the drug they were giving everybody in the hospitals when they went to the hospital during the beginning of COVID.
Yeah. And then those deaths were those deaths marked down as COVID deaths then?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's how you create this that's what they call lying with numbers. That's how you create this epidemic and this fear. Oh my God, people are dying in the hospital of COVID. They're not telling you. They're all taking this toxic Ebola drug called remdesivir. And you would see nurses going, they're killing people with remdesivir. And everyone's like, whatever, crazy person. And then on top of that, they get you to believe it's ventilators. You remember that was a big story in New York. They're putting them on the ventilators. They're killing people. No, dude, it was remdesivir because they had created this drug and they couldn't make money off it.
Yeah, so they made bad drugs, and then they said, we gotta sell this somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
I feel like I'm losing you on some of this.
No, I like it. And then with the Wuhan thing, do you believe that was leaked?
Let me get into this. So if we go in, let's think about this for a second. Push out everything you believe.
Okay.
Don't tell Dave Smith I'm telling you all this. He'll think I'm a crazier person than he already does.
Oh, does Dave Smith think you're out there?
No, Dave's great. I do the joke because he was doing a joke. I was sitting in the back with him and Tim Dillon, and they were talking about how this one comic called him up and was like, "Yeah, I just want to tell you guys that there's no such thing as viruses and nuclear bombs don't exist." And I was just sitting there going, "Gee whiz, mister, talk." Crazy. So I don't want him to think I'm already crazier than he already thinks. But so let's get into this whole thing. Let's just say that if they create if they get everybody believing there's a virus, then they could make everybody believe to take the vaccine, right? Let's just get into that. Okay. So there's two things out there, and if you're ever bored, in which you live an exciting life, so you'll never do this, but look up Event 201. And then look up something called, and this is the real one, SPARS Pandemic Simulation. This is where really nerdy fucks simulate what happens if a epidemic happens, right? So if you
Okay.
study the SPARS pandemic, or even Event 201, their version is it starts in a wet market in Latin America. This is where the virus comes from.
Okay.
So the whole story was that it started in a wet market in China. Someone ate a bat and shit went crazy, right?
Yeah.
That's where it goes. And everyone's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. How does that fucking happen? Oh, there just happens to be a Wuhan Corona fucking lab in the area where you're saying this wet market happened, right? So then you have all this shit going on. People are, oh, is it Chinese? All that. Now they're making it about ethnic and being racist and all that shit. That's fine. But if you're battling over whether it came from wet market or lab, you're still validating a virus, right? Which allows you to still want to take a vaccine. So now we get to, have you heard this Project Veritas shit?
Yes. Yeah. What was
Where
it?
this guy saw this gay black guy bragging to his friend that he was trying to bang.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Where they're weaponizing viruses. Well, everyone's like, we got him. We caught him. Well, what you're also doing is you're validating not only are there viruses, but you're validating that now there's even more dangerous viruses out there, which allows you to later on go, oh my God, this one got away.
Okay.
So that's a setup. You're saying that's a setup?
100%, bro.
Okay.
They are getting you to believe. So listen to this. So this guy does this video, right? This guy does this video with this. They catch this gay guy saying, we weaponize viruses. And then there's this whole theatrical thing going on in this restaurant. And everyone's like, oh my God, chaos. And it's craziness. And then what happens? The head of Pfizer comes out a day later, is like, yeah, man, it's just, you got us. We're weaponizing viruses. It's not even our fault. The U.S. government's making us do it, right? The head, like, think legally what you're doing by saying, yeah, we're weaponizing viruses. Think about legally what you're doing. Think about financially what you're doing, and how quickly the head of Pfizer came out and copped up to it. Like
he came out and he admitted it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
And what does that do? Validate a virus. Now, crazy people call me crazy because I'm not saying there's nothing there. I'm saying what's there is in the exosome. It's your body's releasing toxins.
Yeah.
Now, this is where Johnny and I get into it. Am I saying there's no airborne pathogens? Dude, they're spending so much money on this shit. I'm sure they could create something. But usually when all these like plagues happen, there's a change in technology, right? So like either the Spanish flu or the Black Plague came out when they installed electrical lines everywhere. The electric grid.
Okay.
Suddenly you had energy everywhere. Okay, this is too deep. It's too much. But
no, I like it. I like listening. I like that.
So now COVID's everywhere. What they just install? 5G towers are everywhere.
You're getting nuts.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Just pin this conversation, bro, because it's all coming out right now. Johnny,
That's fair.
And then I want to get into this banking thing with you. Johnny, I sent you a link. Can you play that link real quick?
So you're talking about the one from earlier, right? The one you sent me like earlier. I have it up here.
I think
from Twitter.
Yeah, hold on just a second.
So you're saying that the coronavirus was purposely leaked from the lab, but and that the virus actually there's no such thing as viruses. So they released a virus that doesn't exist.
Okay, so real quick, Johnny, can you
hold on.
So what I'm saying is they want you to believe.
Mm-hmm.
So has anyone ever expressed how it was leaked? Think about this. Let's say this lab is a giant, like a fortress. Okay.
Yeah.
What happened? Did somebody bring it having thongs and pick it up, and the vial just hit, and everyone's like, ah!
Yeah, there was a guy hungover. Some guy was hungover. He forgot to zip up his fucking suit, and then he gave it to his wife.
You're going into the deadly virus place, and you're like, "Oh, dude, I had too much."
And he's doing the. Yeah, he got too much.
Too much sake, bro. Oh shit, the virus is everywhere, bro. Johnny, will you look up also the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark when the Nazis released the spirits? That I think that's how. Okay, here, will you start this? Can we hear it?
According to the internal memos from the CDC, they were not able to isolate the virus.
This is on 60
at the time
Minutes.
that they were making the tests for the virus. And that's why the flu disappeared. They just used flu tests, called it COVID, because they were too afraid to admit to the public that they couldn't isolate the virus. And it's not just the American CDC that's saying that. The Chinese CDC is saying that as well.
No, they didn't isolate the virus. That's the issue.
What about live animal samples?
It doesn't tell you anything if they only test positive. I do not suspect it's coming from what we originally thought.
Freudian slip. He doesn't think it's coming from a virus. They couldn't isolate the virus either. And they say that the tests, the fact that the animals test positive doesn't mean anything because the tests aren't designed for a virus. But it makes you wonder, if there is no virus, then what's in the vaccine? Because the vaccine is supposed to protect you from a virus. It's just like we have to protect the protected from the unprotected. We're trying to protect people from a virus with a vaccine, but there is no virus. And so what's in
Stop it, Johnny. Sorry.
the vaccine?
So, Johnny, will you find where the end of the Nazis released? This is how I think they released. Okay, hold on. I can't hear you, Johnny. Sorry.
Was that definitely 60 Minutes?
Yeah.
Are you sure that was? Did you see it actually on 60 Minutes, or did you just?
No.
It said 60 minutes.
Oh wow, wow! That's so impossible to add.
Well, first of all, the
thumbnail.
document he's talking about is real. I'll send you the document. It's from it's actually the FDA going over what the CDC has found. Yeah. I can send you the document if you want. I have it in my phone. I'll send it to you. I'll give you the page where you can read it, where they said never isolated the virus. It says
I don't even think that was that Chinese guy's voice. I think that was just a guy with a mask on, and then someone came over going, "Oh yes, it's the." I don't think any of that
Chinese. They did super Chinese. Respect.
That wasn't 60 Minutes, though. That was not 60 Minutes for sure.
What was that?
Well, the Chinese guy was on NBC News, and then the other guy was just talking over a still image that he took of the genome of the thing.
So what you're saying is there's a conspiracy about the conspiracy?
Yeah. I'm just saying they're not going to let a guy meander.
Conspiring to voice over a thing going, we know isolate virus. Is that what you're saying right now?
Well, that part was from NBC
over the other conspiracy. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm saying it's just some random guy made that. Just some guy sitting on GarageBand made that just to fucking because it's creative. I don't think any of that was real. I don't know.
You don't think any of that was real?
It might have been. It was
it's
just
fine
some
if you don't. The
Chinese guy I think was real.
Is 100% real. So what you're saying, and that's fine. I'm okay with it. You're saying that snippet. He got an Asian buddy to do an Asian voice, and then the woman to do another voice. Yeah. Then they put this fake stuff there.
Well, here's the thing. It wasn't 60 Minutes. So if you're lying about being on 60 Minutes, you're lying about the whole thing.
All right. So I got to find out if that was 60 Minutes.
They wouldn't
let a guy meander in like poor quality. The audio was a shitty quality. They wouldn't let a guy meander on 60 Minutes.
What do you mean they wouldn't let you meander?
I'm saying it wasn't 60.
Revelation of the method. They do it all the time.
I guarantee you that wasn't a 60. That's not even there. They wouldn't have that breaking news thing at the bottom was not.
It's not.
Show me where you guys think we went.
Sam, you're gonna have egg on your face, my friend. You're gonna have
I'm
egg
down
on
with
your
it.
face.
I'm-
This
hey,
is a.
I can't believe
Not
you
the
really
first
think it
time
was
I've
on
had
60
egg on my
Minutes.
plate.
It's clearly not 60 minutes.
That right there,
Look at
humidity
this. I mean,
held
this is not their.
hostage by
They don't
New
have a
World
breaking
Order.
news thing right here. That would never be on 60 Minutes. That's not their style. That's CNN style of.
So they
Hold on,
downloaded.
hold on.
Humanity
It's just
held
this
hostage
image
by
right
the
here
New
is
World
a
Order.
still image he took from 60 Minutes. He took this still image from 60 Minutes to for whatever this is. It looks like the maybe they mapped the genome of the virus or something. That's the only thing from 60
Yeah,
Minutes.
but go back to the beginning, though. Go back to the beginning.
It's the same.
According to the internal memos,
It's
from
just
the
some
CDC,
guy
That's
talking.
a real
dude.
memo.
They were
I
not
have
but
that
that's not.
memo.
It's not on 60
isolate
Minutes though.
the virus
Listen to
at
the.
the time that they were making the tests.
No, he's
for the
voicing it
virus.
over.
It's not.
And
60,
that's
dude,
why
I
the flu
promise you,
disappeared.
Sam.
They
It's
just
not. It doesn't
used
pass the smell test. It's
flu
definitely
test.
not.
Called it
Too many-
COVID because they were too afraid to admit to the public that they couldn't
This
isolate the
document's
virus.
real. I'll give you that.
Okay.
The 60 Minutes
And
thing.
it's not
Go
just
on.
the American
Okay, go
CDC
on.
that's
Go
saying
on.
that.
Why isn't 60 Minutes up there
And
for the
that's why the
document
flu
if
disappeared.
it
They
was on
just
60
used
Minutes?
virus.
But it only
No, I'm
is
with
for
you
this.
on that. That's his thing. Go on.
Now
So
this is
stop,
from
stop.
NBC News. Look, they have the NBC
Okay.
News logo on the
Right.
bottom right.
What I'm saying is that this guy, I'm not saying this is one fucking video. I'm saying this guy's put together some shit.
Okay.
So you're telling me this part isn't real.
I think this
be.
part was a guy on NBC News that he picked out. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I do.
listen to
He
his
does.
So
voice.
what you guys are saying is what we're seeing right here. This segment of this video, which is a compilation, you're telling me he went, voiced over everything, and then put fake stuff. Okay, go on.
I'm not sure about that.
What?
I
Listen.
don't agree with
No,
that.
Colum's saying that. Let's hear it.
Listen.
Live animal samples.
It doesn't tell you anything if they only test positive.
'Cause look at the subtitles though, Colin.
It's coming from what we originally thought.
Freudian slip. He doesn't think it's coming from a virus.
Stop.
They could.
Now he could have taken that out of context too. I will grant you that.
Anyone can add subtitles. That was just him going, oh, no.
Yeah, but the subtitles, I mean, I think they're beyond the way that the quality of those subtitles are beyond this man's technological capability.
You might be right, Johnny. You might be right, Johnny.
So everyone's got egg on their face.
It's a fucking omelet here.
Okay, so let's go back. Let's go back. That's fine. So that's
Go
my
back to what?
to answer your question. Just take that off the video. To answer your question, that I believe. Now, listen, dude, this is very black belt shit. This is a lot to drop on you.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
get into some fucking Irish conspiracies, but my buddy just got me the email. I'm like, yeah, dude, too late, bud. But that's it. So that's what's going on. It's when people go, is everything a conspiracy? Everything's a conspiracy, literally.
Did you want the Nazi face melting? Is that what you want to say?
Yeah. I want to show Colum how I think that how the virus got out of the Wuhan lab.
Well, did you heard about one of the workers that his wife died of something seemed very COVID-esque?
Do you remember, Colum, when the thing first came out that they were showing us video? Remember? Here it is. This is basically how the virus got away. Here we go.
No.
There's actually a funnier part where the fucking demons are flying all around, and that's how they did it. But so do you remember the videos where all the people were just falling down?
I don't remember those videos, to be honest. No.
So that's how they astroturf
Yeah.
that there's an issue. So they showed a bunch of videos. Chinese were just dropping, and they're like, "Oh my god!" From COVID, never happened until people took the vaccine. Right? Then you started seeing people just falling over and dying. That's how they kind of do it.
No, I mean, I remember it was crazy. Remember the girl was like licking the elevator because she was pissed that she has COVID and she wanted to give it to everybody else. It was one of those. It was like right in the beginning. It was people were just falling. I don't know. I will not forget that. It was when I was a little scared. I was looking at sound. I was like, hey, this might be real.
Yeah.
All right. So final thing I want to get into, because I can't keep you here all day. I want to get into what time we at, Johnny? I can't hear you.
Like hour 19, hour 20, something. In that
Okay,
neighborhood.
cool. Just a couple more minutes and we're done. So because I don't want to keep you all day because I know you got a lot of exciting stuff to do.
Got big stuff going on.
Yeah, well, you do, man. You do, dude. I think you're so funny, bro. I
Oh,
really
thanks, man. I
enjoyed watching
appreciate it.
you crush on
Thanks,
stage.
dude.
You really like brought back like what I missed in comedy. I really missed all like the outlaw shit, and that's why I love Legion of Skanks.
Yeah, they're the best.
Because they're like the last of the Mohegans. I know what's going on in Austin too. There's Austin, and Legion of Skanks. That's it. That's really left. And which is sad because there's so many people who love that shit. And it was fun to watch you go up there and just be able to tee off and have a great time. So I enjoyed it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Now, are you worried about this banking situation going on at all?
This Silicon Valley stuff?
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
I don't know. I think it's economics is kind of outside of my brain power, to be honest. What we're bailing out this bank, Silicon Valley Bank, because if they go under, all these big tech companies go under.
Well, that's what they're pushing. I 100% believe, and Alex Jones has been talking about this forever. They want to implode the banking system so they can buy up all these little banks that are operating outside of the main banks, the Chases, the Citibanks, and all that. So you have these little independent banks. And what they're trying to do is, and Johnny and XG, I'd love to hear your opinion on it, but it sounds like they're trying to get everybody to run and grab their money out of the bank, right? Which creates a run, which now all the banks are starting to implode. And then you're only going to be bailing out. So you get into Disney, all these giant corporations, especially the ones that went woke, are hemorrhaging money. Disney is getting its dick kicked in. A great time to have a bailout.
So what you're saying is, like, let's say I have a bank at Glendale City Bank, and all my money's at Glendale City Bank, and I just saw the Silicon Bank Valley, which is considered one of the best, just flop.
Yeah.
What you're saying is, I'm scared, so I got to go to Glendale City Bank, take my money out,
pull your money out,
and then give it to Bank of America, the top
or just hold on to it, which will cause the bank. Because what happens is, you put money in the bank lends the money out. If you ask for your money back, it doesn't have the money, which causes it to shut down.
It sounds like either of them is going to fuck us over anyways.
Well, that's the whole thing, because what they're trying to do is collapse the banks so that they can bring in their digital currency.
So just everything will be just through your phone and stuff like that.
What's it called, Johnny? CBDC?
Yeah, CDBCs, I think. Something
yeah.
like that.
That's what they're trying to do.
And when we saw them, undermine in a big way USD coin, which would be one of the biggest competitors to what they want to install, because the price of is supposed to be pegged at $1, and USD coin is supposed to be the one that's backed up by actual dollars. Yeah, it's a stable coin. We saw it go down to like 88 cents, I think, at one point, which was shocking to everybody who's kind of dependent on USD coin as the most rock solid of stable coins.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
So who's going to benefit from who are the people that benefit from? So you're saying they want Silicon Valley Bank to go down, or they don't? They want that to be bought by.
They want all the smaller banks to fail so they can come in and buy them up.
Yeah.
And basically bring them in to the big banks, which is what's the big banks? Chase,
Bank of America,
JP Morgan, Bank of America, Citibank, US Bank, like these big ones.
Yeah.
So and what else this does is, like, this bank in Silicon Valley is where a lot of these upstart tech companies are coming from, which, like, this whole thing with COVID was a giant money grab too, as well. We saw the biggest exchange of wealth ever.
Yeah.
From the middle class to the rich, the biggest billionaires in the country all got much, much richer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, are you guys at all nervous about anything, Johnny?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that's totally likely is that they're trying to because if you think about it, any kind of technological challenge or any kind of new model would have to come from a smaller bank that's able to make changes quickly, and challenge the bigger banks with a better idea, a better model. And if they can eliminate those, I have no doubt that they do anything to do that. But they don't play by the rules.
It also fits into you'll own nothing and like it, right? Like
Absolutely,
nothing indie.
What do you think they'll do with gold? You think they can somehow get rid of gold eventually? Because that's the only other one that you can kind of hold on to that doesn't devalue. Do you think eventually they'll find a way to be like, no?
I think they'll do something where they try to get you to give them their gold. They've done that before. Where they're like, give us your gold.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. And the next thing will be, is there going to be a giant cyber attack? Now, Johnny, we got a little pushback on what Whitney said. I think she's right, but we had people going, there's like all these different servers. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, I saw that, and I'm inclined to think they're right. I mean, I don't know why they would make that up. I don't know much about it, honestly, but that's, you'd have to think there's some redundancy in place for, servers for the internet. So I don't know.
But even if there's a lot of servers, I also think the government has a kill switch button.
And then they're going to replace it with a new internet that's boring as fuck.
No, I think it'll be exactly the opposite of that, Sam. It'll be like TikTok. It'll be the TikTok internet. It will be so seductive that 90% of people will prefer it and ask no questions. Yeah.
Absolutely. Are you on TikTok, Colum?
Sorry?
Are you a TikToker?
No, I have it, but I never use it.
Yeah, I don't either, dude.
That algorithm, though, man, they're refining it day by day, and someday it will be impossible to avoid.
I get caught up sometimes with the Instagram reels and stuff, but I have a tendency to delete the apps a lot. I just get them off my phone because
you're one of those people,
I do that with Twitter all the time because I'm just tired of fighting windmills and trying to save humanity and realize nobody cares.
I just find it's almost like muscle memory. I'll just I'm not even thinking. My body just goes and opens the app and I'm like, what the fuck is, and then I realize I've wasted so much time all day.
I did that last night. Yeah. But I also work all the time that sometimes I like to just zone out and stare at buttholes and fight videos.
What do you think that screen report is about? Who's letting us know that? Because it doesn't. Every time I look at it, I'm always kind of depressed. I'm like, damn, that was 5 hours today on Instagram. Yeah. Like, what do you think?
That's Apple's model. I mean, their model is to try to, we're gonna, and I mean, that's how they sell phones. But it's their angle, their marketing angle, is that they are going to protect your data.
but they must know that
trying to be a custodian,
but they must know that telling you your screen time doesn't actually.
No, I think I agree. Yeah, I don't think
they know for a fact that if they tell you that, it won't. You just look at that and go, "Oh, okay."
I turned that off years ago. I did. Yeah, it's been years.
You have to. It's depressing sometimes. You're like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
Well, Colum, it was great. I'm so excited to be gigging with you again on Friday. Yeah. I'm thankful that you came. It was fun to have a conversation.
Yeah, great.
Somebody kind of new into conspiracies. Real quick, what's your as you leave? What's your thoughts on today's episode?
I have a lot to learn, a lot to think about.
Here's what happens, man. You get really into it, and then you just realize that they're just trying to jack your loosh, which is your spirit, and you just focus on yourself, and everything else will work out. Colum, where can they find you?
At Colum Tyrrell across all social media. My podcast, ColumTyrrell.com. For all tickets, just everywhere. Colum Tyrrell, you'll find it. Come catch me on the road.
I love it, dude. Always let me know when you come to LA. If I got a show, I always love to put you in it.
Hell yeah. Well, I'll see you Friday, man. I appreciate it.
Brother, I love you. I hope this wasn't too weird.
No, I liked it. I liked it a lot.
I've changed people. I've had people come on my show that weren't conspiracy theorists, and like a year later, they're like, got a giant conspiracy show. They're like, dude, they're lying to the lizard people. I love you, buddy. Thanks for coming on. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. We'll talk to you soon. Take care, buddy.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Hi, guys. Hey, guys, listen to me. Go check me out. I got a bunch of shows coming up. Go to samtripoli.com and check them out. Come see me live. I'm dropping Hammer of the Gods. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Go to samtripoli.com for all your Sam Tripoli needs. There we go. Bang, bang, pow. Thank you, guys.
Please stay tuned after these promos for a clip from the latest broken simulation.
All right, guys, real quick before we're done, we want to tell you about all of our affiliates. It's a great way to support the show. As you know, fiat money is chaos. Okay, fractional reserve banking, dangerous. The best way to get out of it is precious metals, in particular, silver and gold. And that's why we're working at Wise Wolf, okay? Wise Wolf, silver and gold. Just go to samtripoli.com or samtripoli.gold and you could join. And he's hooking you up. They got great that you can either buy single time or you can sign up for their program where you can buy up to $500 a month. I'm doing it. I hope you can too. We also have everybody at Eagle Research. That's right. Eagle Research, AquaCure Mobile Model AC50 brown gas, hydrogen brown gas. The guy who makes it says it's secure. People are using it. Check it out. Just go there, use the promo code tinfoil hat, 3 words, and get a discount. Go back to the main page, Sam Tripoli. You will get you get a discount with the promo code tinfoil. And then our good friends over at Haley Ray CrystalShop.com. Go to the promo code is Swarm 15. Get 15% off all your crystals, all your quartz, all you name it. What do we got here? Look at all this stuff. All this stuff. All the best. You can do it right there. It's all part of the best crystal shop on the internet. Jewels, bracelets, clusters, you name it. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Candles, you name it. You got it. Swarm 15. Thank you for supporting the show. We love you. And thank you so much for your support.
Here's a clip from the latest broken sim.
And let's see what they think I say. Let's oh my God.
Okay. Oh my God.
Yeah, I say that a lot.
Oh my God.
Because I'm excited, Johnny. Why can't I get excited? We're dropping truth bombs.
Now, the next one is the one I imagine cuts closest to the heart for you. It calls guests the wrong name. Because if you I have a special insight.
Yeah,
on this.
take a moment,
Sam,
Johnny. Will you play some tender music? Okay, there you
give
go.
You flashbacks.
Yeah.
So Sam had, as a child, had some issues with spelling and reading in front of classes.
Still have those issues.
And not reading in front of classes anymore. And it made him. He's got a sensitive place in his heart about public reading.
Yes.
And he takes pronouncing the guest names properly very seriously.
Very serious.
He asks them multiple times before the show how to pronounce it, and then if it's in any way challenging, he should really do this for all the names because even the basic ones he sometimes flubs. But if it's in any way challenging, he spells it out phonetically. Like today, the guy's name was Simone, which is spelled like Simone, but he says it's Simone. So he writes out Simone.
Money.
Oh, you did Sim Money? Is that what you did?
Yeah.
Okay. So not even correctly do you do it phonetically. But he takes it very seriously. So this hurts his feelings.
It does hurt my feelings. The whole thing hurts my feelings, Johnny.
And it's funny because if they're picking up on it from what we put out, we cut out like most of the time when you f up the guest name. We're past 10 minutes now. We cut out most of it. So, dude, they already picked up on it from just the little that we let in.
Man. Rude.
They're trying to get us all to fight with each other.
That's true.
White women. White women's on the bingo card.
White women. I'm sorry.
Want to talk to the manager.
I need to stop. Going off on white women.
No, you don't.
But Johnny, they're starting to think I'm male chauvinist.
You shouldn't care what people think. That's your job as a comedian, is not to care what people think and to be true to yourself.
All right. No.
And I've seen you limit yourself in those ways by thinking, not doing things that you're worried that people are going to be annoyed at.
All right, Johnny, good call.
Fighting Bill Gates for charity, fighting anybody for charity.
Why is that bad?
I don't think it is bad.
I mean,
I don't think they're saying these things are bad. They're just.
I say them a lot.
They're touchstones.
They're saying that Sam needs to get new material.
Well, but think about how many items are on here now. This is a lot of items. So it's like if you
we
rotate
have a lot
through
of episodes. We have almost 650 episodes.
Show title.
That means we're only 100 episodes away from halfway to the next 500 episode.
That's 1,000. Wow.
Do you think we'll
the
get
next
to 1,000?
500th? They called it 1,000. Yeah, the next 500th.
Johnny, it's the next
Welcome to Las Vegas for our second 500th episode.
I know it's called 1,000, but it's the second 500th.
Look at how stupid this is. I cracked my phone, and all I had is this gay purple phone case of my girlfriend.
Johnny, I love that. You know why? Because no one would steal that phone.
That's a good point.
No one steal that phone. They look at that phone. They're like, wow, that phone's got AIDS.
This is my favorite one, probably, as far as just stuff. Yeah, you're right. We do this. Show title topic is barely mentioned in the show. So what Sam usually bases the show titles on our original notes, it seems like, for the show, because sometimes he probably doesn't remember what we talked about. So he goes back and looks at the notes of the email that Mark sent with the original topics. And half the time we don't get to any of that stuff. So it's in the title, and people are like, when did they talk about UFOs?
We talk about it at least a little bit, even if it's in passing.
This one is also something that I'm sensitive to, that you do. Vague defenses of Trump. This is something that you've gotten better about, but you used to do these super vague defenses of Trump. Like, you wouldn't go full out saying, like, oh, I'm a MAGA guy. But you would defend him in the Vegas way.
Rude.
I hate male feminists is another one.
I do, though.
It's the Jesuits, man.
Oh, my God. We're not even halfway through.
It's the Jesuits. It's the Jesuits. Blue check mark dummies. A lot of that.
I don't say that as much.
Yeah, you
now.
can't say that as much anymore.
Not as much.
Yeah, it's
okay, we gotta get a new one.
Dick/gay/sex joke, which the guy's a comedian. I mean, come on, what do you expect? He is a comedian. That is what most of comedy is about, is dick, gay, sex.
Okay, Johnny, let me just say something. And I've said this before, but I feel like it really needs to get stated. It can't be stated enough. I'm going on my, 6th album, okay? The first 5 were a lot of heterosexual sex. I've talked about everything, okay? The only thing left now is gay sex. That's all it is.
Talk about and what? And do
what,
in your
Johnny?
personal life?
Say what you want to say. Say it, Johnny.
I just wonder if it works the same. If you that's how you treat your comedy. Do you do the same thing?
Oh, you saying do I go out and live that life? No, Johnny,
Okay.
I don't.
All right. That's just how I find people joke
Rude.
about what they live. Sam is corrected by a co-host. That's usually going to be me.
Can we just call that the Johnny Square?
Yeah. I'm surprised I didn't get name checked in that one, honestly. Sam starting another podcast, which we actually ticked that one off on Broken Sim last week. Sam talking about starting another podcast. Guest talks about how some word secretly means another word. This is a very popular thing on the show. It really is. And this one's not to do with you as much. But this is something as a pet peeve of mine, actually. I don't love that. Satanic pedophiles, of course.
Of course. They're everywhere.
The Mount Rushmore of X. Now, he does this on every podcast, the sports podcast especially.
But sometimes I call it the Mount Everest.
Yeah, you do. And always you have no regard for how many faces are actually on Mount Everest. You'll be like, let's do the Mount Everest of conspiracy theories. And then you're in 12 deep. Have you ever seen Mount Rushmore?
It's 4.
Yeah. Blue Chew.
Hey, there's the rest of the mountain. I could carve in a couple new faces.
Blue Chew. Getting their money's worth here.
For sure. Blue Chew.
Props to Blue Chew.
Blue Chew.
Big argument between Sam and a
when
guest.
was the last time that happened?
Nah, that doesn't happen.
It happened one time
that
with
was
Mark.
That was Mark.
Mark,
Yeah.
that should just be called the Mark Square.
Yeah, the Mark Square. A year-old episode got deleted from YouTube. That happened a few times.
Yeah, it did. That did.
Young Christian Warrior.
I love that, bro.
You say that
all
a lot.
day. I gotta make that shirt.
I'm Armenian, bro.
I am, bro.
Complains about people complaining about advertisements. Is that what that says? I can't see it because your bobblehead's in there.
Yeah, no. Can I throw that bobblehead out? We don't need that second one.
The Freeman one?
Yeah.
Why would you throw that? It's a valuable thing. I gave that to you. He's on your team now.
Yeah, it's the Atlanta one.
All right. Makes fun of XG. And then we live in interesting times.
That was the best. That was great. I'm upset, though. It's not cool. It's rude. It's rude, Johnny.
Well, yeah, you were on today's tinfoil. He was every time he kind of got close to touching on one of those, he got a little sensitive. You could tell him withdrawing and double, triple crossing himself.
I'm trying, bro.
It's like, oh, that's on the bingo card. Shit. Let me change.
Yeah, hit the bingo card.
You can't worry about that.
Oh, that was so funny, dude. I could not stop laughing at that.
It's worked for you.
That was great. Thank you, guys.
I wish we knew who to give credit.
I don't want to give anybody any credit. That's just ridiculous and rude.
If you did it, let me know and I'll give you credit.
No, if you did it, don't stop. Don't come near us. I'll get a restraining order.
So we have an apology. We owe some people an apology.
Okay.
So do you remember?
We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Tinfoil hack.